And in today's video, I will be providing a background on the U.S. Federal Reserve's readiness for buying U.S. stocks and also what some financial professionals are actually saying about this, and then give you the implication on what exactly does this mean for investors. So please stick to the very end of the video to find out. If you're new to the channel, please know that I work on videos covering stocks, economics, and other relevant financial news. So if those things sound interesting to you, then please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. So let's jump straight into the video. So according to what I found on the Federal Reserve's website, as you can see here, this is their investment agreement with BlackRock. So ultimately, the Federal Reserve, they created a special purpose vehicle back in March 2020, which is managed by BlackRock to really do most of the buying. Most people already know that the Federal Reserve is buying up bond purchases, but what is interesting here that I think a lot of people actually missed, to my surprise, is that based on this investment management agreement, the Federal Reserve, as you can see here, is pretty clear. The language is essentially allowing the Federal Reserve to transact in stocks as well. Essentially, this really means the Federal Reserve is ready to go and buy stocks if truly needed. This is their hidden ace card. To be a little bit more clear, you can see here on the Exhibit B, this is like the power of attorney language for BlackRock to manage, supervise, and direct investments for the Federal Reserve's account. Clearly, the language here in Exhibit B says to transact in any and all stocks, bonds, cash held for investment, and other assets. So this is the thing that I think a lot of people missed, and is really something to really pay attention to, as this actually might develop throughout the months. Who knows how bad the unemployment numbers will be. I know like earlier today, the June unemployment number were a little bit better, around like 11%, but still we have a long way to go before this recession is over. So let's see what the Federal Reserve will probably do in the future. And with that being said, let's see what a well-known financial professional like Scot Miner, who is the chief investment officer at Guggenheim Partner, is saying about this. So he recently said, a while back, he said that he actually thinks the S&P will actually retest the March 23 lows of about 2.2 thousand. He is actually one of the more bearish people on Wall Street right now with such a low number, even expecting the S&P to even drop to as low as like 1,600. And he is making a point where he says that he thinks the Federal Reserve is going to have to pull out a bazooka at that point. And pretty much all options are on the table, which even includes the Federal Reserve buying stocks. This is like the Federal Reserve's true bazooka. And I think clearly the market does continue, if it really does continue to fall because of high unemployment, I think this would really erode away the confidence from consumers, small businesses, and also CEOs. Let's see what someone on the Federal Reserve side is actually saying about stocks possibly being bought. So here's Janet Yellen. She's the former Federal Reserve chair, and back in mid-April, she even said, "I frankly don't see it's necessary at this point." And she's also adding on to the fact that in the longer term, though, it wouldn't be a bad thing for Congress to reconsider the powers that the Fed has with respect to assets it can own. I think this is really paving the way and just trying to. She's saying that she wants the Fed to be a little bit more open on, things that they can actually buy in the future. So this is like some wiggle room for them. And just in case you're wondering, I kind of want to share with you maybe some possible implications here on what that might mean for your investments. Well, you should just know that other foreign central banks, they have been buying up stocks in the market. Like the two more notable examples would be the Bank of Japan owning over 70% of Japan's equity ETFs since they've started buying in 2010. And then another one is also the Swiss National Bank, where they actually have over $100 billion exposure in like the US stock market. Here is a table that I found actually on their most recent Q1 2020 top holdings, where you can see here, they really hold these top mega tech companies like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. And the interesting thing in terms of implication here, well, I found this really cool chart here where it shows like the Swiss National Bank, actually when the March Q1 of 2020 started to fall back in March, the Swiss National Bank actually increased their top 20 holdings by about 22% quarter over quarter. So you better bet this is something where the Federal Reserve can actually look into, and maybe, if they see the market continues to fall, such as what like Scot Miner was saying, if the S&P really does fall to a certain low level, maybe the Federal Reserve does step in, just like the Swiss National Bank. And overall, the thing here I want to say is that for investors, what this really means is that the Federal Reserve has your back. It definitely seems like the Federal Reserve is ready. They have the paperwork ready, signed with BlackRock, ready to buy single stock positions, and they really have that whatever it takes mentality, which is something that the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has constantly reiterated, to really whatever it takes to keep the market and also economy afloat. The Federal Reserve will absolutely do it. So with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for watching the entire video. I really do appreciate it. So if you thought it was helpful, please hit that subscribe button. As well, if you give me a thumbs up and you like the video and you give me a comment, I promise you I'll also respond back and also share with you my thoughts. So thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, thank you again. Bye.